All right, y'all. We live, man. We live and talking politics. We got Max and we got Gary in here. Okay. We got Max is Jewish, Gary is Haitian, you know. And we're gonna talk about around the world, the war. We're gonna get into a lot of good subjects. Y'all ready, man? We're gonna make this impactful. Y'all ready?
We're ready. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
we're
me.
ready.
Always, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna try to give y'all great content, man. We're gonna ask some questions that's gonna get some real answers. So let's start with around the world. So um been around the world, you know, right now. Y'all are familiar with traveling around the world. Let's get right into it. The Gaza and Israel. No, yeah, Gaza and Israel. This has been a war that's been going on for some time. Okay. One side has been accused of hurting women and children, and then the other side is bombing. So I want to get a overview on how you think individually, both of you guys, how you think what's behind this war. So Max, you want to go first? Let's hear your first let's hear your version, Max.
All right. I can go first. Not a problem. And let me just say that I don't have any problem with Gary or Haiti or Gary being Haitian or anything to do with Gary as an individual. And I've
Right.
only spoken with Gary for a handful of minutes the other day, so I don't know Gary very well. And, we were honest when we got to meet one another and get introduced, and
I
the way it
I
happened
think
was very, you
I
know,
think I think I think y'all should let Gary go first.
That's fine, Max. You
Okay.
can go first.
Oh,
Gary, you is what you said last time. So we're gonna let you follow up with what you were saying. This is the
okay.
reason we on here.
Okay, yeah, Gary, go ahead and follow
Okay.
up on what you were saying, and we're gonna get right to Max.
All right. Well, the war in Israel. Why is it happening?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
And what's the reason behind
yes.
this war? If we go back in history, um, I would say in the 1920s,
Okay.
the Palestinian was the original settlers of that land. The Israel was nowhere to be found, and then the Israel was never a nation. It was a tribe, you know. It was one of the tribe of from like, if we go from the Bible,
you're thinking about Jacob, but you keep
Jacob,
stumbling. Go ahead.
Jacob. Let me finish. It was one of the tribe of Jacob,
How many
and
tribes
then
were there? Just in case anybody doesn't know.
about 12 of them.
About 12, or was there 12?
12.
Okay.
Okay, and Israel was one of them, and they were
Israel was all of them, Gary. They were all Hebrews, Gary. But go on.
Go ahead, Gary.
okay. So the land that the Palestinians are making settlement on, this land, they were originally their own land, and they've
Right.
been living in that land for a long, long time. And then they were when the Holocaust of the Israel happened, the Israel wanted to find places for refuge and to settle. So the Palestinian government actually approved them to be immigrants of their lands, because I know the Israel had asked countries around the world that to settle in different migrating country around the world, because they had asked DR refused them, and they had asked a lot of countries, but the Palestinian had take them for refuge. So
Okay. So so basically, you saying this was originally Palestine land. When the Holocaust happened, the Holocaust came and uh the Jewish people came to Palestine and made a deal, and then they got there to the land, or they just you're saying
I
that they
mean,
just go ahead.
the Jewish, it was a agreement settlement between the UN, backed up by the United States, and the UN that actually get the Israel to become a two-state uh, solution for the Palestinian and the Israel to get settled. But this thing become active, I think, in 1948. That's
Gotcha.
when they were
That's when
licensed to
to be
live
there.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Max, Max, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's his take. His take is the Palestinian was there first. They made an agreement after the Holocaust, and then it the Jewish people came into Israel and settled there with agreement. Let's hear your side, what you believe, how this originated and how it took place.
All right. Everything Gary said right now is bullshit, and Gary's full of shit and doesn't know what he's talking about. Number one, 1918 is when World War One ended. Okay. And after
Right.
that, if you don't know, Gary, I'm going to tell you real quick. That way you can pass it on to your other and foreign fucking friends from Haiti and let them know that Britain, along with other colonizers, but in this case it was Britain, had the territory that was named Palestine. Okay, are you with me? I don't want to confuse you, Gary, because you're already confused enough. But the name Palestine is a Greek derivative and it means traveler or wanderer, and it happened to be a colonial refuge slash satellite of Great Britain after World War One. Now, that being said, since you only want to go into the 20th century, not go any further, but you did mention Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel, or at least you try to explain that. Everything came from Hebrew, the Israelites, the Jews, whatever you want to refer to them to. And if you want to get involved with semantics and gramology and grammography and linguistics, there are different sounds that can be made with the use of different letters that may or may not exist. Whether you understand what I just said makes no difference because it's fact and it's truth. Next, we have World War II, displacing the Jews, land given to the people that were displaced, but also still existed in the Middle East. Oh, yeah, they existed in the Middle East, but they were also being eradicated by the Grand Mufti. If you're not familiar with the Grand Mufti, he was one of those friendly Arabs that loved killing Jews, just like Hitler. Matter of fact, Hitler liked him so much he appointed him as basically being in control of the Middle East and making sure that every Jew that he could get his hands on was dead. Nice, huh? And if you didn't know, I'll take you back a little bit more in history. My people have been persecuted everywhere they've been. We've been kicked out of Spain. You ever heard of the Inquisition? That was the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that the British actually had their own version of the Inquisition when they kicked out the Jews from England, Great Britain. I believe
Right.
that was Edward the First, if I'm not mistaken, or George the First. I have to double check. But that actually happened as well. So these people, my people, have been persecuted nonstop. So when you say, and I'll just finish this off, that Israel is the only place on the planet that has a percentage of Jews greater than 2.4%. Okay? The second greatest population of Jews is going to be in United States. That's right. Almost the same amount of people as far as population goes. Now, Haiti, where you're from, was also a you know product of a colonial French invasion. Do you speak French, Gary? Do you speak French?
No, clear.
You
He
you,
speaks
you speak
Creole.
Creole? Okay,
That's a French. It's a derivative from
accurate.
French, though.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So that's where that Creole comes from as well. So we
It's
go back
not
to the
a, it's not,
colonizers
it's not
of
a, it's
you were
not
colonized by
origin,
France. If you weren't aware of
it's
this,
not,
it's true.
it is an original language. It's not backed up by French. It's an original language, an original African descent language. So it's not
If
a
you're telling me
broken.
they speak Creole in Africa, I'm gonna reach through this camera and smack you.
We are from
Oh my
Africa.
god. I don't know if I can help you by trying to educate you, Gary, or just give up. But I don't want to give up on anybody because I don't hate you. I don't know you, so I can't hate
Right.
you. So I'm
So
Where,
gonna
where,
need you.
hey Max, where's my language came from?
Well, Creole is a language, but it's comprised and derived from French and
Does the Martinicans speak Creole, Max?
there again, who were these places colonized by? The
Okay,
French.
and let me ask you.
Why do you let me ask
We
you why
were
you keep
col-
diverting the
we
fact that these
listen,
were colonized
listen,
by the French
listen,
and they speak French?
listen. We were colonized by the French,
Thank you.
but
But they didn't have any
French.
influence
But
on you.
listen, they made French. You have to go to school to learn French. It's like you, as an American, you go to school to learn Spanish, but you speak English. That's your original language. It's
No, it's
English.
not. My original language is Russian. I had to learn English on my own, and I also speak Hebrew.
Okay, exactly. You speak Russian, but you go to school to learn the other language. That's what
No,
we did. That's what we did. Once the
well, I'm
children,
glad that you know
one,
better than what
one,
I know about how
one,
I was taught English. So thank you.
so
we were
basically, Gary is saying that Creole is a language that was
is an
Formed in
official
Africa,
language. Is an
it was an official
Louisiana,
official
where does
language,
it say?
right?
language.
It's official language, and Max is saying pretty much that Israel, Jewish people were already in Israel, correct, Max?
That is correct. We are,
So,
being
so
God's chosen people is a great honor. It's also it's a great burden at the same time. But nobody said being the chosen people is easy.
right. So basically, you're saying that it was never Palestine land, Gary. You get what he's saying? He's saying it was never Palestine land. It was just a Jewish land from the start, from the beginning, and from the end. So that's where we at. That's where the 2 points are. So what do you got to say to that, Gary?
What I have to ask Max is that how and when did it become a Israel land, and who did they get their independence from?
Well, have you ever heard of God?
God,
God, the Lord?
God. So they get their independence from God.
Well, they had
Okay, okay,
Moses who was,
Max. Listen.
oh my God.
Let's go back.
How far
Who
do you want to go
is
back?
okay?
Because you're jumping
Who
around from fucking
who
Guyana to
who?
fucking
No,
Haiti,
no, no.
French,
Hold on. We
Creole,
with God.
all kinds of bullshit.
We
What
are
do you want to talk about? The fucking Hebrews and the Palestinian terrorists that think they have land that isn't theirs, that breed terrorism and hate towards Israelis and the
right now.
Wizards.
Right now.
Is that what you want to defend? What point do you want to make? What the fuck are you trying to say, Gary? Spit that shit out. Quit being around the bush and being passive aggressive. You got something to fucking say, then fucking say it. You know what? I'm not one of those passive Jews from World War II that sat around and didn't
And
do shit.
I'm not
You know
gonna.
why? Because the motherfuckers would have came knocking on my door to beat the shit out of them.
Right,
So
I'm not
whatever
right.
gonna.
your point is,
I'm not gonna use any bad
Ma-
language,
you
and
don't have
I'm
to
not
use that
Max,
gonna.
let
language.
him go.
That's
No,
on me. But if you got
I'm
something
not
to say,
gonna
then say it.
yell.
Say it.
Right,
Okay,
right, Max, let him
let's
go.
go.
Let him go,
Let's
Whatever you
Max.
want to
let's.
make.
Gary,
I
Gary,
Okay,
don't
go
need a
let's.
ahead.
language lesson. I don't need a lesson on grammography. What point are you trying to make that I need to correct?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Gary.
Let me finish. You say they get their freedom from God. What I was gonna ask you, who is God, and how this name become popular all over the world? How did it come to make, and where the name come from? What is the original of God?
You're asking me to represent the Lord and speak for him? I can't do that. I can tell you
You
what
are
God means to me. and I could tell you what the relationship that I have with them is, but I can't speak for anybody else. That's not right. You're asking me questions that I can't answer. And
God
you're
is not.
asking questions that have nothing
Is
to do
God
with the
a
conflict that's going on right now. If it was such a holy conflict for the
Facts.
All
people,
right, let's leave the God thing. We can talk about it another time.
well,
Let's put
no, I want to know what's your point, Gary? What is it that you are trying to communicate to the world by end the war? You want to end the war because take off. What do you want?
Gary, go ahead.
yeah.
So yeah,
Since
try to transition to another question. What do you let's get to some
no,
If you're
well, Max,
if you're going to speak to something, Gary, you better come prepared with facts. You better come prepared with everything ready for somebody like me that's going to be able to rebuttal everything you come with me at. You don't you don't have an argument. I'm sorry. I apologize that you don't realize that as of yet. And whether or not you want to sit there and contemplate it while you're driving down the road, I want you to be careful because I greatly appreciate what you do for this country. That's first and foremost. Safety
I know
first.
you're trying to intimidate me. I know you're
All right, why
trying
I'm
to say
intimidating you? No, no, no. If you're
of
intimidated, then it's
different
not by
shit,
me.
a
You're
lot of
allowing
different
yourself
shit
to
that
be
doesn't make
intimidated.
any
I'm not
sense.
right.
intimidating you. I'm being
Let's get
myself.
to the
Okay,
debate though, fellas.
so
Let's get to the
that's
debate.
what I asked you. But you can
Was
even
the
prove.
Star of David
You
intimidating
can
you, or
even
is one of my brothers on the body?
where the Israel get the independence and from who? What country? That's what I'm asking you. You
What?
say they get it. You say
What?
that get it from God
Okay,
of.
okay, all right,
They
all
get
right.
it from God
I understand
of
your weakness. Now, let me
unknown.
answer your question. All right, after the war in
So
1918, okay, you still had
Like,
after 1918, okay, it was
right,
still a territory of the British colonials. Okay, now World War II starts. What happens? 6 million Jews get murdered. The Ashkenazi Jews in Europe primarily get murdered. The Sephardic Jews in the Northern Africa, Middle East, whatever you want to call it, they are also subject to the same type of torture, murder, basically everything that went on in Europe by the Grand Mufti. You can look that up all yourself. You can do your own research. I'm telling you to do
what
your
were their
so
independence? Where they get
right.
their freedom
listen
from?
to what I'm saying,
That's
and
what
then you
I'm
Go
will.
ahead.
asking you.
My answer will answer your question. I promise. So, what happened after World War II and the displacement of all the Jews that were found in the concentration camps? All right, they were liberated by the Russians first. There was a three-way deal. If you want to call the UN involved in it, that's fine. But you had the biggest
So you
proponent
win.
proponent of a separate Israeli state, Israel, for the Jews as their homeland, which was promised to them in the first place by God. And I don't think there's any argument about that. But it was decided that that colonial British satellite now is going to be Israel. Now, after this happened, Israel, the very next day, after May 14th, 1948, the very next day, all your friendly Arabs decide to attack Israel. The very next day, as soon as they became a state, very next day
Right.
they get attacked.
Right. But Max, he's saying like what country? Just give him a country that you feel
It
where
was Stalin in the Soviet Union. It was
Soviet
Truman. It
Union,
was Truman here in the United States, and
United
it was
States,
also you at that point Great Britain who had the actual land.
Great
And
Britain,
then it was yes, and then everything was okayed by the United Nations. And
the UN. Right. In the
yes,
So
UN. So
that mean they get to live for free without any bloodshed. Is that true?
one more time.
They get to live for free
Who
and
got
those
to live for
state
free?
without any bloodshed.
Who got to live for
so
free?
he basically saying, do they get to live for free on the land without any bloodshed?
No,
So you
because
got
your friendly Arabs have made it damn near impossible for anybody. And I don't know if you've ever been to Israel or not, but my dad goes every year. He was there last year before this shit happened. And whether it be Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, he goes every year. And he travels to both of them throughout. And he's been to Jordan as well. He's been to Egypt, not a big deal. But when you're in Israel, whether you're in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, or one of the smaller outposts, one of the smaller cities, there's Arabs, there's Muslims, there's Jews, there's Christians, there's everybody. It's not a big deal. Israel isn't a problem. It's everybody that surrounds Israel
So
that thinks they
do
have
you
some kind of
believe in
claim
the
to it and they
second
don't.
coming of Jesus Christ?
Do I believe in, I'm sorry, one more time?
You believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You believe that he came and died for you and he's gonna come and save you. You're gonna live happily ever after for a million of years. You believe in that.
Do I believe in? Are you asking? Am I Christian? Do I believe in Christianity?
That's why I'm asking you. You believe in God. I
No,
said
you asked me if I
so.
believe in
If
Jesus
you
Christ. I believe in
believe
Jesus.
that
Yes. You didn't ask me. I mean, I
your
got to
great
start here
Lord
behind
and
me. Telling you Jesus
Savior
is a
is
real
gonna
person.
come to this planet or whatever planet that he says gonna be coming on, and you're gonna go to heaven with him, live for like 1 million years. Do you believe in that?
I don't know that we ever die, so
Huh?
I don't know that we ever die.
Isn't the book of Revolution, the one that you believe in, has a book that's written
You
under
talking
his
about the
name?
revelations of John? See, that's the problem. That
The
there again,
Revel
here you go. The book of Revelations was not a book that was written by John. It was dictated by John. John didn't come up with the book of Revelations. It was given to him as a revelation. And he wrote down as he was being told what he was shown. So it wasn't something that he came up with. Don't get it confused.
Right. So Gary,
I never say he came up with it. I never say that.
I
I
right.
never
So
never.
Gary.
said that you did. I'm just you're putting context out there that's half truths, and I've got to be able to step up here and clean up your fucking mess. Oh, sorry, I
Right.
didn't mean
What
to.
is okay?
No, no,
What's
no.
the context that's not putting? I'm putting that's not true.
So Gary,
I'm
hold
not.
on, hold on. This the thing. You're saying that so Max is saying that the original people from Israel was in Israel, Jerusalem. You saying that it was the Palestine land. So are you saying that there are the Jewish people or the Israel? Is that what you're saying?
I
I don't think that
I
Gary knows the difference between Palestinians,
listen. Let me talk. Let me
Phoenicians,
talk.
Philistines, or
Max, listen.
Polynesians.
Okay, you speaking for me now, or you want me to
No,
speak?
I'm just trying to help you out, bro.
No, I don't need your help.
You need more help than you can imagine.
Oh,
Okay, go
damn it,
ahead,
man.
Gary.
You okay?
Go ahead. Who are those
We
original people?
um, I'm not gonna say that I'm 100% sure if the Palestinian or Jews or if the Israels are Jews. So first of all, we
Where have you ever heard about a Palestinian before? What are you talking about?
first of all, I don't know what the
I know you
Palestinian.
don't, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to help you, man, and I'm actually super chilled out because the chronics keeping me calm. I
All right,
keep this
Go
thing
ahead,
all right,
from
Gary.
all
Go
escalating.
right,
ahead, Gary.
Max.
Even gonna go.
Let's leave the original of the Palestinian. Why is the war of the Palestinian and the
Why do you?
Israel
Because they're
is
terrorists,
happening?
man. Listen, how much does Israel
They
need to concede? Golan Heights isn't enough. The Sinai Peninsula isn't enough. The West Bank isn't enough. Gaza's not enough. What do you want? Everything that Israel's done to show peace and be peaceful has been done with the little kid running up with fucking bombs and blowing up people. Enough. These people are bred to hate the people of Israel. They are taught this. You don't believe me yet? You don't think they believe that they are meant and destined to kill us? They are. Go ask them.
can you tell us the little bit of the story of Joshua,
I can tell you any
Max?
story you want, but why? Listen,
Tell me the little bit of the story of Joshua.
As long as he don't take too long, we don't want to spend too long on the
Yeah, we
story.
don't want to be too long. Tell me just a little bit.
mm,
Go ahead, Max.
before I answer this, what is it in Joshua that you want to know?
Tell me a little bit of the story of Joshua coming,
A summarized
coming,
story.
coming from Egypt, going to the wilderness, going to the Canaan. Tell me a little bit of stories about.
I'll tell you a better story. I'll tell you about Job.
Nope.
Why?
Joshua.
Why? Tell me why. You think you're clever, huh? You're not.
Listen,
Go ahead and make your
listen.
point, and I'll shut it down real quick. But you're not brave enough
No,
to do it because you know
you're
I'm
not
going to
gonna
kill it.
shut me down. You're gonna listen because you're talking about that the Palestinian or
Go ahead and
terror.
say it.
You, you're
The
talking about the
Philistines. You're going to talk
you,
about the Philistines, and that's
you,
fine. If you want to take that as Palestine, you can be ignorant all you want. Believe what you want. That's
we're not being ignorant.
okay. No,
We're
you're
not
being
being
ignorant.
ignorant. This is your knowledge you're giving us is personal and based on your personal belief and your
No, you can look it up
Christianity
and you can see if you
and
can
your
make
Christianity
Palestine out of
belief
Philistine, that's
because
like making
because
chicken shit out of
you
chicken salad.
you don't know where God came from. You don't know where the name
Did I
came
say I
from.
know where God
You
came from?
can
Did I
you
say I know more
cannot
than
I
God?
you cannot
Make
identify.
sure that
You
you
just
pointed
you
that out
just
because I'm not
believe.
trying to disrespect God like you're fucking friendly
You
Arab
just
terrorists
believe.
are that
Is
you're
a
so
is a
inside excited to
is a
protect and defend. Man, I wish if you run through Kansas City, you can call me and we can meet up and we can have a discussion over some coffee about this. And we can see if we're right or we're wrong. We can even ask people. We can see
Right.
what
So
they think.
Gary, what you trying Gary, so let's get to your point. What point you trying to uh because
I'm
you
talking
didn't
about. He's talking about that the Palestinian are killing the Israel. They doing invasion. They killing a lot of people. These people, the
right.
Jewish people that he's talking about, the sons and the daughters of Jacob. Before they got into the canyon, they did the same shit. They were slaughtering women and children in order to take over the canyon. Back
Ever since,
during the time of Joshua, they
Fair,
did that. They
fair.
slaughter, kill a lot of people in order to get that land to live on.
You
That
think
was the Israel that
you
did that.
think it's about Israel. You think that Israel and that they have somehow been the aggressors, right? Somehow they have been the ones to take advantage of
Li-
the people, right? Because can you pull up a map of the upper northern Africa, if that's possible?
Listen, Mac.
No, I
Listen,
just want you to get an idea
listen, Mac.
of how
At
ridiculous
some
you sound right now.
at some point of time,
Look at the screen. Look,
nation
look at the fucking
fight
screen.
against each
Look
other
at the
and
screen.
they kill each other.
Oh my God!
So
Ever
so
since there was a
what
God, people have died in His name. That's
whose name?
nothing new. That's not exclusive to Jewish people or Arabs. If you're gonna make a point, make a fucking point. I'm gonna make a point right now. You see this little piece of land right here? This little itty bitty one? It's so fucking small that you can't even see it. It's surrounded by people that want it gone. They want it back in the Red Sea. They want its people dead. They don't want it to exist anymore. But you want to sit here and argue with me about French. You don't even know where the fuck you're talking about.
Oh
Get the
shit.
fuck out of here. Talking about Israeli aggression. There's barely 12 million of us left. You think we're going to let any more go? Because your friendly Arabs decide they don't want us around? Fuck them. Iran, Persia, Egypt's always been Egypt. Iraq, Mesopotamia. Should we call them Persians and Mesopotamians, or should we call them Iraqis and Iranians? Turkey used to be Constantinople. Should we consider it a part of the Ottoman Empire still? You don't know shit. I don't even know why I wasted my time on this show here to talk to you about it. To teach you about the Bible, to let you know that you were colonized by the French, or to let you know you're fucking stupid.
go
What
ahead,
you
Gary.
say? What you say, Max? What you say, Max?
I'm not repeating myself.
He's
Yeah.
basically
You can rewatch
Yeah.
the video, bro.
so Gary, go ahead and make your other point. So,
If
I'm
you want
not.
to go to war, you want to step in the fucking ring, then you better be ready to fight, take some licks, and give some fucking shots back.
We not.
Or you
We
sit
not.
there, get in the corner like a champ, let your fucking coaches, let your trainers throw the fucking white
No,
flag in
man.
for you,
You
and
saying?
get the
You
fuck
listen.
out.
Listen, Max. You're saying too much shit right now.
Oh no, I'm just saying
Saying.
facts. I'm
Say.
saying that,
No, you're
I'm saying
saying
that
too
you
much
can't have
shit.
a
You
conversation
cursing.
when you don't know what you're talking
You.
about. You
You
got no
are
business
fucking.
made a
You are
conversation
cursing
about
on the
nothing you
talk
don't know about.
show. You are cursing on the talk show. Being
Or what?
disrespectful. Being disrespectful. That's what you're doing.
Don't tell me how to talk, pussy. I'm in America. I can talk whatever I fucking want.
Control yourself and talking. Then. Control yourself. Use
Don't tell
proper
me what
language.
to do.
Use proper
You're
language.
not my boss, motherfucker. What the fuck you think this is? Tell me what to do. Why are you can keep deflecting all you want, Gary, but all you're doing, you're not making me look like an asshole. You're just making me look more right. So whatever. You're worried about my language more than the fact that you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, no problem. We know that not only are you ignorant, but you're easily offended by words. Perfect.
I'm not
But I'm
offended
not
by
going to make an
that.
accommodation for you, Gary. I'm not going to treat you different because I don't give a shit. You're just another guy. I don't know you. I don't hate you. It's not in my nature to hate you. But I'm not going to be fucking giving you all kinds of kisses and praises either. You
right,
come
but
on
guys,
here,
let's
better
stick
be
this to
ready.
the debate. Listen, let's stick this to the debate. We're gonna take it to the point. Gary, do you have a point you want to make? Let's see if Max
Hey,
can refute it.
Mr. Moderator, I think that you ought to ask Gary something simple that he could answer. Maybe start with like, Gary, what's your favorite color? Maybe find out what he had for breakfast.
Oh fuck, Dave, do you want me to stay in that show or I'm leaving? Do you
You
want
can't
me
wait
to?
to get
you
out
Do
of
you
it.
you need
want me
Oh,
hey
you
to stay
fucking
in the
hate. Oh,
show?
boy,
Um,
you know you did.
hey, that's the end of
Hey,
round one, man. That's the end of round one.
I'll
Cross
go
the
first.
tracks, man.
Bring your
Hey,
homie. Hey,
round two will be next week, same time.
bring him on.
Round two next week, man. That's round one for you, moderator. You
Represent.
got
Ain't
it
no
from here, man.
here. Represent.
so Max,
What's up, man?
Tyson Fury came out with what?
what? Okay, what do you want to do with the Palestinian? Do you wanna
What?
whap them in
Are
the face?
Palestinians? What are you talking
No, no,
about?
no. What do you wanna do with the Palestinian that's sharing land with the Israel? Do you wanna
I
get
got no
rid
problem
of?
with Arabs sharing land with the
No,
Israelis. I got
listen,
a problem
listen,
with
brother.
terrorists.
Listen. You say they are terrorists.
I'm talking about terrorists. I don't have a problem with anybody else. I have a problem with
Okay, okay.
terrorists.
So you want to protect your people. What do you want to do with the Palestinians? You wanna
God's work.
kill? Do you wanna kill them all and get the whole land to yourself, or do you wanna make a two-state solution?
Are you
What do you
asking
want?
me if I want to go back to Israel and actively participate to make sure that we get rid of terrorists? Yeah, I'll go. Absolutely, 100%.
What do you wanna
Sign
do
me up.
with them, these people? What
I
do you
can
wanna do?
only, hey, you know what? I can send them to God. It's not up to me what He does with them. I just keep His inventory fresh.
Is God a criminal?
Is that no? Absolutely not. I got to keep the
Oh man,
stock, boy. Hey, you got to.
is God a criminal?
No, he's not.
That's what I'm
Not a
asking you.
criminal.
Okay,
No,
why? So why do you wanna murder
you got
them
an
and
arrest
send
warrant out
them
for him
to
that I don't
God?
know about, like Rasheed Rice. What's up,
Oh, low blow. You got to get him back for that, gear.
man? Gary's fucking man. Gary just wants to get the fuck out of here, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, Max.
So 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 so
Gary said you got
so
cement in your gloves, man. Like
Man,
Tyson Fury, man.
Gary had to pull
You got
over. Gary had to
you
pull
got
over,
see.
put his hazards on, and put this flare out to make sure, just in case he was going to have a fucking.
Hey,
all right,
you got cement in your gloves, man.
let's leave the Palestinian because that conversation is not gonna go right anyway. Let's talk about
All right,
let's
let's
talk
talk about
about
the mythical piece.
Man, round two, man. That's it, man. We be back here next week,
no, we're
next
not going
Saturday,
nowhere.
same time, man.
Wait,
We not going
do you have
nowhere.
something to say, Gary? Because if Gary has something to say, I've been waiting like 35 minutes to hear it.
Let's let's talk about Haiti, Max. What do you know
Let's
about
all right.
Haiti?
I would love. Let's talk about Haiti.
Rob, you got time for this, Rob?
Yeah, man. Let's
All
do
right,
10
I'm out
minutes,
of
man.
here.
Yeah,
Rob, I'm
okay.
out of here. All right.
Okay, I got you.
Let's talk about Haiti, Max. What do you know about Haiti?
Tell me about Haiti. Pretend I don't
No,
know anything.
you
No, no,
know,
it doesn't
because
matter
you
what I know.
say
Tell me. Pretend
you
I don't know. I'm not going to say a thing about Haiti. You wanted to talk about Haiti. You talk about Haiti. I'm going to listen. You're going to teach me. Tell me about Haiti.
okay. We were free in 1804. We were the first black free nation in 1804
Okay.
by Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture, Capral Amor, Bookman. So in 1804, we were the first free black state, and then we were colonized by the French in the 1500s. You know, we stay in slavery for over 400 years. Max say we were stupid. We wasn't stupid. So, and I'm not gonna call it stupid. And what we did for the world by freeing, or what we did, is a freedom for all black men and all black women. Plus, it's also a freedom for Max too, because we the one that came with democracy. There was no democracy in the world. There was no freedom in the world. Only Haiti was the first country to abolish slavery and to free everybody in the country. You okay with
Okay.
that, Max?
Oh, I'm all ears, brother.
And our original language is not French, it's Creole. You can see that the Haiti that the French people are writing with I is not I, is Y, is AYTI. That's what Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the Emperor of Haiti, that's what he wrote it as.
That's because in the 16th century, I, Y, J were basically they were
That
given their
name
own
were
place in the
that
alphabet.
that name were here even before Jean-Jacques Dessalines. The name Haiti wasn't called Hispaniola. It was Haiti during the Taínos uh, civilization. So it never did change. Christopher Columbus invaded our island and changed the name, but the name was always Haiti. It was named by the Taínos.
Okay. Did you already know this, Max?
Max
It's a
can go read
I
about it since he read a lot of books. He spent a lot of time reading. He can read about it. Go find out the truth.
So are you debating this, Max? Are you saying this is true, false, or you learning? How you feel about it?
no. Before it was colonized, Haiti was still Haiti, but it was colonized by the French for 400 plus years under French rule, French colonization. That's why
Who colonized before the French?
I said it prior to the French, Haiti was Haiti.
Before the French, there was the Taínos Island. They the one that live in that island. Then Christopher Columbus shows up. He didn't put them in actual slavery, but he was making them work for him in order to benefit his own self, to find gold and the country and silver to take it back to where he came from.
Yes. What Christopher Columbus did was conduct business. He didn't colonize anything.
And that motherfucker was a stealer. He wasn't doing any business. He was invading everybody else's country and stealing.
Did you know he was Jewish?
I don't care what the fuck he was, but what he was doing was wrong.
I never said it was right. I never said it was wrong, but neither one of us lived during the time of Columbus. It was a different time. Then rules were different. Everything was different. People were different. The way people were looked at were different. The way
He
people
has
saw things were different. The way
he
we
has
spoke were different.
So
Class
Gary,
systems.
he's telling you that Christopher Columbus was Jewish. That's all. You said you didn't care what he was.
I don't care where he came from, but what he was doing to these people, invading their own country and converting a lot of them into Christianity. That was wrong. People have their own belief, they have their own tradition. He has no right to do that to these people. Everywhere he go, that's what he was uh, protesting on, converting people into Christianity.
Okay. And are you refuting that, Max?
I think that Christopher Columbus was doing what he was meant to do during the time that he did it. Do I agree with it? Makes no difference. It's happened, and there's nothing that can be done about it. We could debate it, but at the end of the day,
Do
what
you believe he
happened
was a
was
colonizer? Do you believe he was a colonizer?
no. I think he was a businessman.
Right. So
Businessmen
Gary.
doing what? Businessmen doing what, Max?
Well, like I said, I don't agree with it, but
That's what I'm asking
whether
you.
or not I'm selling
You say
bags of grain or bags of sand or people, I'm still selling something. And
he
Right.
was he
just as
was he was selling grains.
he was what?
You say he was selling like
So
SALE,
basically, Max
sell.
is saying he wasn't invading land and taking
Uh
over.
huh.
He was just selling people and selling minerals, like
Oh,
taking it from people, selling it. He was just
Conducting
what we
business
call
when
finessing.
why the United States now is thinking that Christopher Columbus was a man full of shit and they erasing him from the holiday of the United States?
because a lot of the people here in the United States are a bunch of pussies, and they think
Of
that
course.
erasing history is going to somehow cause people not to repeat it, which it's going to do the exact opposite. So,
So Gary,
Where Christopher Columbus the first person to discover America, Mars?
absolutely not.
Okay then.
so basically, Gary, you're saying that Christopher Columbus was a colonizer. Are you
That's what
saying
he
that? Yes or
was.
no?
That's
Okay.
what he was.
And
He
Max is
was.
saying he was a businessman.
Hmm.
So
I don't see
that's what.
what the heck of a business he was doing when he was pushing people to work for him for free, not paying them any labor, and then go to others' countries and invade them and killing of people, raping of people. So
As a businessman, it was a different kind of business back then.
this guy was the freaking devil's son. That's what he was.
Mm.
A damn
Uh,
criminal.
but when the French colonized Haiti for those 400 years of slavery, they were saints, weren't they? They never did any raping, did they? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Max. Listen, Max.
What's the difference? What are you
I
talking about?
I talk about what happened with Haiti. 400 years of slavery. We
Mhm.
get in our asses. We fight a war. We win our freedom, fair and square. But according to a damn motherfucker like Christopher Columbus goes around the world invading countries and take natural resources from countries and bring it back to his land. That's
Right, right.
illegal. Plus the
Okay,
killing.
okay,
Well,
okay, okay. Well, guys, listen, we're gonna get into this next week. We had a good show here. This go round. Round one was awesome. We're gonna get it kicked in next week. I want y'all to get y'all stuff ready for next week. It's gonna be good. But it was a good show, man. We're gonna catch up on this next week. Anything y'all want to close them out with before we go?
Thank you for having us on. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Gary and I have no problem with one another. I have no problem with Gary. I don't think Gary has a problem with me. It's okay
Right.
to agree to disagree with one another. And sometimes things get heated about passionate topics. So don't get worried, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Gary, anything you want to close them out with before we go?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for sharing my thought and my conversation with Max. And I learned a lot about Max between the Israel and the Palestinians.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I'll be glad and then to have another debate next week with Max, and hopefully that we can also talk a little bit about the Tainos, where they conform the Arawaks,
Mm-hmm.
and the big motherfucking stealer, robbery,
Mm.
raider, and Vader, Christopher Columbus. Okay, that's
Mm. All right.
that's
Yeah, we're
all.
gonna talk
Thank you,
about that
guys.
next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that in. So listen, it was a great show, man. I can't wait to put this on. It was great. It was intense. We're gonna do it on the next round, man. Just everybody gonna bring it. We're gonna bring it next week. So good night, fellas. Y'all enjoy your night. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Good night.
All right. And the war.